It's December 16th, 2025. I'm in Kiev, Ukraine. What I wanted to do was another one of the Sully rants today. Uh, Living here, being here so often, I understand what the Ukrainians go through. So what I want to cover is about the negotiating team the United States has sent on this. First of all, we'll cover Mr. Witkoff. Mr. Witkoff has dealt with Russia for decades, has dealt with Russian businessmen and done business with Russians. He has no connections to Ukraine. As a matter of fact, Mr. Witkoff has never been to Ukraine. The other interesting fact about Mr. Witkoff is he's never had to undergo any congressional hearings at all. So no one's been able to question him. That's important because Mr. Kellogg, who was the representative to Ukraine for negotiations from the United States, recently resigned because he said that after 1 year, he was going to be forced to undergo congressional hearings. Mr. Witkoff, when are you going to do your congressional hearings? Then we get to Jared Kushner. Mr. Kushner has absolutely no security clearance in the U.S. In the first administration he did. Now he has none. So he's negotiating one of the most important issues in the world today with no security clearance. Probably the most important thing to Mr. Kushner, as we know, is business, as is dealings with the Arab world. So maybe we need to tell him that the Carpathian Mountains would be a great place to put a resort. They could put a golf course, ski resort, etc. in there, and maybe then he'll become pro-Ukrainian, because it certainly seems that money is all that matters to him. Besides that, let's talk about the current administration. I must say that I did not like Brandon whatsoever. I thought Joe Biden was pretty much useless as a president and did as little as possible to help Ukraine. But then we get to Trumpakovich. Trump has bragged about the fact he's done nothing for Ukraine since he's been in office. Absolutely nothing. Yet he believes that he can end this war. Brandon, or Joe Biden, came to Ukraine a couple of times. He understood the people. He understood their feelings. He understood their culture a little and understood what this was really about. He understood that all of Ukraine is not leveled. He understood that the Ukrainian people do not want to give in. And he certainly didn't listen to the Russian propaganda. I have a question. President Trump, is the reason that you don't come to Ukraine because you have bone spurs again? Because other than that, you need to know and see what you're really talking about, because you absolutely are clueless. Now we get to our vice president, J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance, who everyone knows, was a Marine. What people don't understand is that the closest that J.D. Vance ever got to an injury in the Marines was possibly getting a paper cut. He was a journalist. In his book, he even states he never saw any action. Why is it that the American people are led by two individuals who have never been to the country of Ukraine, who are negotiating supposedly with the country of Ukraine and Russia to solve this problem? They have no idea what they're talking about. They're both clueless. We can go through this entire administration and see that. So why don't, for once, we actually start looking at facts? The facts that the Ukrainian people do support Zelensky. The fact that the Ukrainian people want nothing to do with Russia. The fact that the Ukrainian people want their country back. They want the Russians out of all of their country. The fact that the Ukrainian people, by a vast majority, do not want to accept anything the Russians are proposing. 75% of the people are against it, according to polls. So why don't we listen to the Ukrainian people? Why don't we become the United States that we were at one time, which is a bastion of freedom in the entire world, a country that was respected? I guess in ending, what I will say is, Slava Ukraina. And God bless the U.S. that once existed, when the U.S. was a great country, before the stupid line of Make America Great came around, because we were great before that. Let's regain that.